Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and it is time for a collective tarot reading for Halloween. I promised you that I would do this, and I'm doing it now. As mentioned yesterday when I did the Quick 3 Tarot, I'm using my Nostradamus deck, and because of that, I had to pre-pull everything because I'm not as familiar with this deck as I am some of my other ones. So, yeah, luckily, when most of them came out, I pretty much knew what they were for the most part, like more than half. So, all good. But I want to talk about pre-shuffle energy, and then we'll go into this energy. There's obviously a main energy that I picked up, which is the title of this reading. And it was pretty much what the pre-shuffle energy was, which is so bright they have to wear shades, or they got to wear shades. So, yeah, there's a lot of good energy in this reading. In the pre-shuffle, have my notes here. In the pre-shuffle, so the Three of Sons came out. Three of Sons is about tapping into your intellect. Some of you are completing college too. This is about completing college, and now you're about to start off on your new journey. And then I just heard, because that goes into the main reading. For some of you, when you completed college, or as you're completing college, you may have had thoughts about leaving the city that you were in to go start your new life somewhere else. But something may come in, like maybe a job offer or something like that. I just heard for somebody that something with the college, some type of networking or connection, somehow the information got to whoever, and then that person wants to offer you a job. So you may be offered a job through something you may not even be a part of. It may be something where your professor or someone you know in your school or whatever puts your name in something, and then it gets back to you like, hey, would you like to apply for this job? Where you may have already had it in your mind, okay, I'm leaving now that I've graduated, or now that I finished, I'm moving to another city, starting a new life, da-da-da-da-da. But that may change because the offer that comes in may be too good to turn away. Just saying. Another thing that came up is that luck is on your side as well, because the Eight of Sons came out for that, with luck being on your side. Another thing that came out was the Nine of Moons reversed. But believe it or not, it can mean freedom. Also, it can talk about imperfection. For some of you, I feel like that may have been a thing too, where you're looking at your imperfections, or somebody was honest about your imperfections. Don't take that to heart, because no one is perfect. It doesn't matter who you are. No one is perfect, period, point blank. So if someone said something about, let's say, your work or what you're doing or what you're pursuing, and they just gave an honest opinion about you, that's their opinion. It doesn't mean that it's true. Also, it doesn't mean that it can't change. Let's say, and I'm just using this as an example, let's say that you're an ice skater and somebody said, oh, well, you're okay. You're not like a Nancy Kerrigan or anything like that. Okay, that's their opinion. That may or may not be true, but let's say that it is true. That doesn't mean that you can't get better. What you can do is work harder and become an even better skater, and do that. Prove them wrong. There's so many people over the years, whether they're athletes, celebrities, or whatever, where people have told them that they can't do something, and they end up doing it and proving people wrong. Toni Braxton was told by one of the people in a talent show that she entered that she cannot sing. But she's sold millions and millions of records and is one of the most recognized female recording artists of all time. Almost everyone knows who Toni Braxton is. So, again, what that one person said to her at that talent show, the judge, that didn't mean anything. And that's what I'm saying to you. Someone may talk about your imperfections, but it doesn't mean anything. Don't take it to heart. All right. And then from my other deck, my Haunted House deck in the pre-shuffle, the Fool came out and the Two of Wands. I feel like some people are really looking to travel. Some people are looking to expand their horizons. For some people, you just may be traveling just because you want to see the world. For others of you, you may want to just move to a long distance place where if you live in one country, you may want to move to another country. Or if you're in the same country. It's like you're moving from the east part of the country to the west part of the country, or vice versa. You're moving to the west part of the country to the east part of the country, wherever you're at. Some of that may be going on. I just heard that some of you may be moving because you're not happy with what's going on in your country. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. Trying to think what else. Others of you just may be making a choice, and that's going back to, for example, where for some of you, if you're completing college this semester, going into this last part, and you're graduating in December, then this may be a thing of you have to make a choice. What do you want to do? Even if a job is not offered to you, it's like, okay, do I want to stay in this city, or do I want to move to a totally different city? And then that's going to be up to you. And you may end up leaving, because that's what happened to my brother. He graduated from school in Atlanta, but he left after he graduated, stayed in multiple other places, and then came back to Atlanta. So it may be some of that. You may leave where you graduated from, go off for a year or two or 10, and then after that be like, oh, I want to go back to that city. That could be it too. All right, so that's the pre-shuffle energy. Let's go ahead and get into the main energy. And as I said before, even though I didn't say it at the beginning, whatever reading of mine you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it is not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy in the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now, let's get into this. I pulled 5 cards. I was looking for 5 cards. I ended up getting 6 from the Nostradamus deck. So at the heart of the matter, we'll just start with that, which this is really good. The 7 of Spears is at the heart of the matter. 7 of Spears is about completion. 7 of Spears can also be about achievement. There's 2 achievement cards, that actually 3 if you think about it, that came out. This is one of them with the 7 of Spears. Also, the 7 of Spears can be about receiving a reward for your recognition. Like you're receiving an award based off of, or a reward based off of the works that you have done. So for some of you, you will be receiving some type of raise or pay increase. This is what this card is. For others of you, I feel like you may actually be recognized for something else and then receive a reward for that, meaning something outside of a regular 9-to-5 job, where I'm just using this as an example. Let's say you started a small business and your small business is doing really well. And in addition to that, it's making an impact in the community that the business was started in. You may receive some type of recognition from like a local business organization, or there may be, I'm also hearing publicity. Like someone may do a write-up for you in the paper. And the card that clarified this as well which for my haunted house deck, is the 3 of Wands. So this is your ships coming in. This is more signs of, yes, this is recognition. But one thing, like I was saying before, one thing that may happen, someone may do a write-up on your business where they're recognizing you, and then that write-up gives you publicity, which brings in reward because it makes your business more visible. And because your business becomes more visible, it brings in more customers for your business. So that could be going on too. But this is about recognition. And again, the title of this is so bright, they're going to have to wear shades. Because there was a lot of sun's energy that came through, and then the sun itself at the very end, when I looked at the bottom of the deck, the sun card was there. As a matter of fact, did I change? Okay, it had changed. So after that, but this is interesting. You have the 5 of stars and you have the 9 of stars too, which this gives me like chariot energy in a way, which the chariot did come out in this reading. But the sun card was at the bottom of the deck when I was doing what I was doing, when I had checked it. So it's a lot of sun energy, a lot of positive energy, a lot of happy energy. Now, the other card that came out is the 9 of Spears, which is the same thing. This card is also about achievement. It goes back to achievement too. I honestly feel, and also contentment as well. I feel with this Knight of Cups clarifying something, that is an offer. Remember what I was talking about before, using the college thing as an example, where there may be an offer that's so good you can't pass it up. Don't be surprised for some of you if an offer comes in that you just can't pass up the offer. You may have had other plans, Two of Wands, to do things, the Fool card to do things, but you're like, this offer is so good I can't pass it up. So, and that is achievement. Now, another thing, going back to the Chariot, Temperance came out from the Nostradamus deck. We all know what temperance means, at least I hope we do. If you watch tarot card readings on a regular, which obviously is about balance. That is what it's about. Also, temperance can be about healing too. The Chariot came out to clarify this. This is victory as well. Chariot is a victory card. Also, this is Cancer energy. Also, Knight of Cups is water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Three of Wands is fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. With the Chariot and the Temperance card here, this is telling me you need to know when to put your foot on the gas and you need to know when to take your foot off the gas. One thing about the Chariot card, when it comes out in the tarot decks, usually it has a person with a chariot and there's two horses. One horse is black, one horse is white. It's more about the yin and the yang. These horses are complete opposites and they want to go in opposite directions, but the holder of the chariot, what do you call it? It's like the driver of the chariot, I guess you could say. The driver of the chariot has to get these two opposite energies to work together to move forward. And it takes a lot of balance, temperance, and it takes a lot of patience, which also can be linked with temperance too, in a way. But it takes a lot. And again, you have to know when to put your foot on the gas and when to take your foot off the gas. As long as you can balance that out, then you'll get the victory, is what will happen. Happiness will come in. Now, the other card that came out is Judgment. Judgment came out. And it's kind of interesting. The King of Swords came out to clarify that, is what happened with the King of Swords. So, I can tell you one thing that came to mind. There's two things. One thing that came to mind, and could be a totally different timeline, was a hit and run. Because with Temperance being clarified by the Chariot, and then especially with the Chariot in this deck being a car, and then with Judgment being clarified by the King of Swords, which usually deals with legal, something that came to me, it just said hit and run. Obviously, if that's not your story, don't worry about it. But for somebody, there could have been a hit and run situation. If I were you, I wouldn't be too concerned about it, and I'm not an attorney, and obviously this isn't legal advice. I'm going by the energy. Based off of the energy, if somebody was dealing with a hit and run situation, I feel that the outcome will be favorable. I'm not saying that you will not get out unscathed. What I am saying is that I don't feel like they're going to throw the book at you. Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Now, on the other side of this, with this particular King of Swords, you see how that chessboard is there? I feel that you have to be very strategic when it comes to your judgment with what you do. You can't just do something and not think about it. You have to because one thing about chess, it takes a lot of thought when you play chess. So for this King of Swords, he just doesn't move pieces without thinking. And again, and this also kind of ties into the Temperance with the Chariot, where I'm saying you have to know when to take your foot off the gas and you have to know when to put your foot on the gas. That is the same thing. This is sort of the same message with your judgment. You have to move strategically. You have to know when to really, really dig into something and when it's like, okay, whatever. Again, putting your foot on the gas, taking your foot off the gas. But whatever you do, you have to be strategic about it. So that's where this can go as well. Now, the other card that came out is the Lady of the Sun. This is sort of Queen of Wands energy, is what this is. And the Lady of the Sun, also, this is another achievement success card because the Lady of the Sun is very successful. This can also relate to businesses, just saying. And this is saying that this is somebody in their own right. Also, don't forget, the Lady of the Sun or the Queen of Wands is very magnetic. Because of that, I feel like some people are trying to create a strategy to fight for your attention. You may have multiple suitors at this time. Also, I just want to throw this out there as, I don't know what you want to call it, an addendum or whatever, where we're in Scorpio season right now. Going into Scorpio season, we're going to have a full moon in November in Taurus. For some of you, just throwing it out there, for some of you, you may find that your love life or your physical life, your playtime, whatever, may pick up, especially with a full moon in Taurus. So if you've had some type of drought going on, it wouldn't surprise me if things pick up for you. Because Venus obviously deals with love, which is ruled by Taurus. The Taurus rules Venus, however you want to say it. And also with Scorpio, Scorpio rules when it comes to body parts, because all signs rule body parts, just like Cancer rules the breast, the chest. I think Virgos rule the stomach, Libra rules the skin, the kidneys, and I think something else, and so on and so forth. All the signs rule something. I'm pretty sure Taurus rules the throat, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Also, for some of you, especially if you're a Taurus, you may want to be mindful during Scorpio season too with your throat as well, with the full moon happening in Taurus. So just want to throw that out there. But yeah, you may end up having some friends with benefits during this period, or you may actually end up finding a stable person that you can date that might turn into something more. Just throwing that out there, and that's for everybody. All right, but with this Seven of Swords and the Five of Wands, these people are competing, and some might be doing some extra stuff to get the attention of the Lady of the Sun. Now, outside of that, the Lady of the Sun may be fighting for her own recognition, to say, put some respect on my name. That can be there too. Someone can be in that energy, where it's a thing of, I won't let you disrespect me, with this Five of Wands energy. And I will win by any means necessary, with this Seven of Swords energy. There can be some of that going on too. Now, another way that this can be read is that there could be some type of deception going on, and the Lady of the Sun is already aware of what it is, and that may create a conflict. Because the Lady of the Sun could be like, hey, I know you're not trying to run game on me, because I see what you're doing. And the Lady of the Sun will call someone out. The Lady of the Sun is not, especially Queen of Wands energy, the Queen of Wands does not hold her tongue. She says what's on her mind. She's almost as blunt as the Queen of Swords. Almost. So, yeah. All right. And then the final card that came out, the unexpected card, because I was looking for 5 cards, but I got 6. And this card that came out is the Wheel of Fortune. I told you, all of this energy is positive energy that's going on here. That's why I said about that hit and run thing. If that does resonate with someone, I don't see that being a huge issue. I just don't. Not with all of this good energy. There's too many things here on the table that say good energy. Now, Wheel of Fortune, it speaks for itself. Obviously, the wheel is turning in your favor. Good things are happening. Recognition. A new cycle beginning as well. Now, this is the kicker. This Fool card came out in the upright during the pre-shuffle, followed by the Two of Wands. But then When I asked for a clarification card for the Wheel of Fortune, it came out in the reverse, is what happened. So here, it came out in the reverse. This goes back to what I was talking about earlier. For some of you, you may have thought you were starting something new, and an offer so good came in that you could not refuse it. So where you thought you were starting off on a totally different journey, it turned in the reverse because of the offer that came in, and you're like, okay, well, I'll stay where I'm at. They recognize my value, or this situation recognizes my value, or this situation will definitely increase my value if I stay where I'm at. That's what this energy that I picked up is for one situation. The other situation, and I have to throw this out there. Remember when I was talking about earlier about imperfection and how someone might have been honest with you about their critique? You can't let that hold you back. This is a new beginning card, is what the not Wheel of Fortune, but also that can be too. What the Fool card is. If you don't take advantage of the energy, then you will stay stuck. But if you are willing to jump out, this is what's waiting for you. Don't let insecurity keep you stuck and away from the Wheel of Fortune. Because guess what? I kid you not. At the bottom of the deck, after the Fool card came out in the reverse, the Magician came out in the upright. Mind you, the Magician is after the Fool. Now, there's things that the Magician had to gather on the journey when the Magician was the Fool to make the magic happen, to be able to manifest. What this is telling me with this is that it's all up to you. If you are having trouble making the jump, or if you feel insecure about something, the Fool reversed, this card following at the bottom of the deck in the upright is telling me it's all up to you. You're the Magician. You're the one who's in control of manifesting this Wheel of Fortune. I've already told you at the heart of the matter, there's some type of reward for your achievement. There's some type of recognition that comes with an award for your achievement, which is clarified by the Three of Wands, which means something is coming in if it hasn't already. But it's still up to you. You have to manifest that. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe you can make the magic happen. Don't worry about what other people are saying, because again, a lot of sun energy here, a lot of positive energy here, especially when it closes out with the Wheel of Fortune. That's telling you, it's confirming what the title is. So bright, they gotta wear shades. All right, so that is your Halloween message. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast. I sincerely appreciate it. I've been looking at the streams on Spotify, which I think it's been fluctuating over, because at first it was Apple that was the most streamed platform for my podcast. But lately it's been between Spotify and Pandora for whatever reason. So yeah. But it fluctuates. So yeah, shout out to everyone who's been listening to the podcast. Definitely shout out to the YouTube community. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. I sincerely appreciate it. Let me get going because I gotta, get started with the rest of my day. Until next time, everyone, be blessed.